mate, and welcome back to Factorio with me, Jenny. Today's episode is going to be all about, well, stabilization, acceleration, and new plans. New plans for new conquests, because we're waiting on science to run. You know, we're currently doing research productivity number 52, and it's going up and down, mainly because, well, I just finished worker robot speed number 21. Where the hell is it? Worker robot speed, that one, which was like 32 million. So now we're doing a 13 million, but it is the 13 million that takes twice as long because, you know, I want more productivity. All more is more productivity is better. But also, today's the day of cleanup. I want to clean up a few things. I also want to improve a couple of things. And I also want to build a brand new ship because, well, our science bar says that apart from blue science being horrible, which we can fix very quickly, we also have a problem with, well, our Prometheum science. We have the Enders here. The Enders here is in dock currently, well, making a whole lot of science and, well, getting out of its quantum processes, also pulling up eggs as fast as possible. But I want to fix the eggs so the eggs can launch up quicker, faster, a whole lot faster. Also, I want to, well, improve the ship, have a little bit more storage and probably a little bit faster because although we have upgraded these engines to legendary, it's still not very fast. It's very boxy shape, and obviously I could do something a little bit better. So that's going to be today's quick plan, but before I get into the plan, into the details, I need to ask that very important question. Of course, the very important question being, can I borrow a lac? I just like to borrow a lac. I like to borrow a lac because the UPS is failing me, which also means the common man that we were sending home is chewing up all the UPS. So although I'd really like all these fuel cells back and all the other resources that it took to build this ship, they're all normal quality resources, so I'm going to click this button. Yeah, and in 5 minutes, we should see hopefully the UPS increase because the ship doesn't actually disappear for the first 5 minutes. Second thing I want to do is, I want more labs. So we're going to take the existing lab format and we're going to dump that. Well, actually, no, can I deconstruct everything here first? Yes, just that way I know it's clear and I don't accidentally find a little bit of belt or something in the way that ruins my life. And can I dump that there? Yep, I want more labs. Now, of course, more labs require more labs, and I have this here flashing at me for quite some time. Also have this here flashing at me, telling me I'm short 23 legendary labs. It's about to get a whole lot worse. No. Yeah, 23 legendary labs. That's a decent amount of labs. So I could put in lower quality labs, and I might put in lower quality labs, but I also might just start making legendary quality labs. Yeah, probably a bit of both. Also, this is flashing at me because it's telling me I need to put down more epic spawners, and every single spawner is already epic. This one would go off if they were legendary, which probably helps if I said that around the right way. So what I want to do is, I've already taken the liberty of doing most of them, but what I want to do is I want to upgrade every single one of these guys to legendary. Well, legendary if we happen to get a legendary. So this is as quick and easy as just dragging a legendary one through the whole pile, and I've already done all the upsy downsies, lefty righties, and outside, and therefore every single one of those is going to flash at me saying I'd really like to be legendary, except for the ones that are already legendary, like this circle is legendary. Now, the biggest problem I have with this build, because we were using this build to upcycle biters to make sure we can make legendary productivity modules, but as I have 17,000 currently, I think I'm good for right now. What I'd instead like to do is I'd like to convert this to rapidly launch biters. So to do that, I need to either rip the whole thing down and rebuild it, or just make some modifications, and modifications are definitely the way we're going to go. I'd like to do this with legendary power poles, because that way I can remove things I don't need. Well, actually, no, let's start with inserters first. Okay, I would need to have an inserter here and here. They're going to put eggs directly in the rocket solid. I'd also need to have an inserter here and here and here to directly put biter eggs into the rocket solid as well. And all I'd need to do is... That one didn't appear. No, that one did appear. Okay, all I need to do is wire them. Hello? Wire. From there to there. To there, to there, to there, and then into the rocket solid. And you would be very easy. You would be enable if biter egg is greater than 0. So if we're requesting biter eggs, then we put biter eggs into the rocket solid. If we're not requesting biter eggs, well, the biter eggs just live in here. Are you currently requesting biter eggs? You're currently requesting biter eggs. That means those longhand inserters should put them straight to here, and then they should launch. Okay, they're now not going to launch, which means This inserter should still take them out. And what are you doing? Does not equal 0. Oh, you're reading from the rocket silo. Yeah, okay. So you should then take them out and crush them. And that should be the plan. Now, it does leave a lot of junk in the way, and I could manually go around and remove all the junk, but I honestly really don't want to. So what I want to do is I want to use my trick I used earlier by putting down lasering power poles, and I just want to replace every single item that I don't want anymore. So that. Also, I have an inserter there, and a recycler there with, oh, another inserter. That should be everything to do this quarter. And then if I repeat this process by, well, basically grabbing these inserters, horizontally flip and put them there, that should replace half the parts. And then if I grab my legendary poles again and put one here, all I missed? Just 3 items? Oh, no, there's another inserter up there. 4 items. 5? Okay, and they're already wired in, and then we can try, I don't know how well this is going to work, to vertically flip this, and then paste this. Okay, definitely not going to work. Can I just grab the corner then, and vertically flip it, and put it there? And then can I grab this, and vertically flip it, and put it here, and then we can go through and establish what we missed. And we missed you, who I was doing I don't know what. Also missed you, and you, and you, oop, and you, and you, and you. That should be everybody replaced. I don't see any random inserters anymore. I just see lots of power poles. Okay, can I take this blueprint and can I put this over here? Because this is what I like doing. I like having a build that might not be... You're missing. You should be there. I like making builds that are maybe not perfectly efficient. Maybe I could have done something to make them a little bit better in the first place. I like builds like that. I really, really do. But I much prefer a build that I can convert from what I need now into what I need in the future. Yeah, this is why, like, you know, when I put together the starter base, there are definitely room left in the build to make improvements, or there's room left in the build to make beacons. Beacons are important late game. Early game, really not that important, mainly because you haven't researched them. So with that done, you guys should now all be able to directly launch spider eggs, which means a whole lot less upcycling. We still do upcycle them, okay? We still, you know, when we don't need biter eggs in orbit anymore, we have the inserters, they pull them out, you know, whenever it's a negative number, and crush them. And we still get upcycling that way. And of course, biter eggs also come over here and get upcycled over here as well. It's just less throughput, a lot less throughput. In saying that, if we look at egg, I've been making, you know, 10-ish legendary eggs per minute for several hours now. Several hours. So I don't think I need to have quite so many legendary eggs. I also probably on their way. Okay, can I change you to a buffer chest, please? Because I'm going to want to take them out of there in a second. Because the other thing I want to do is we have the power to, we have the resources, we have everything required. Put down one of you and say I would really like Biolabs pre-made in legendary. And I'd also like to swap you with legendary upgrade planner. Because the only thing I need here is I need legendary uranium. I have some of that. I need legendary biter eggs. I have some of that. I need legendary refined concrete. I have some of that. The legendary capture butt rockets. We have butt rockets as well. And can I do a request for buffer chest, please? And the only thing I don't have is the legendary lab. But legendary lab should be as easy as, can I have you make legendary belt, please? And can I have you make legendary labs, please? Cool. And then I just need to have this go here instead. And swap you with a legendary upgrade planner. And that should be all I need. So I just need legendary iron plate and legendary gears, which I should have in the network. And I have you request slightly more than one of each. And I need legendary gears again, plus green circuits, plus the belt, which we should have as well. So that'll give me legendary labs. Legendary labs then can turn into legendary biter labs. Yes, legendary biter labs or legendary bio labs. I just need 10 biter eggs. 10 biter eggs is probably one of the easier points for me to get. the capture bot rockets, I've only got 62, so it's only going to get me 30 labs, but 30 labs is better than no labs. Also, the other thing I can do, just as the meantime, is... can I go with Epic? Yeah, can I just drag Epics? Where's the halfway line? Actually, you know what? Just give me an upgrade planner. Can I change Biolab from legendary down to an epic? It's less than ideal because I really want legendaries in the long run, but I only need the front half to be legendary to use the normal size. The back half is only when we're doing something like research productivity, and I could live with those being a lower level. Can I also do this row? Yep. And that should free up a couple of labs to hopefully get some stuff done up here. Okay, so with... Are you running? Okay, no, wrong item. This item, this item. Are you running? You are definitely running. Okay, and you just request in a whole lot more materials. 400, a little bit of a waste, but sure. It looks like it's been 5 minutes because the UPS is definitely going higher. Okay, and that should get me these as soon as I get more biter eggs. Hence, I'm going to leave upgrading that for just a minute. Well, upgrading the biter egg crushing for more direct launching for just a minute, just so I have a chance to crunch out the last of those. And you, can I just turn that off for 5 minutes? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to problem mods for right now. All right, next thing I need to do is I need to talk about 2 things that happen in the background. One, gleba. I know, we're going back to gleba. Gleba is shooting a lot of artillery shells, an awful lot of artillery shells, and an awful lot of friends. It hasn't reached max range quite yet, but it's definitely getting there. Oh no, we've reached max range up here. The artillery are slowly scanning out further and further and further to obviously find more and more friends. One thing I wouldn't mind is if we sort of did the same on Narvis. Can I go to Narvis, please? Can we just turn that off? Can I put you... Well, you don't have power. That's probably bad. Oh. I dragged those up, but I didn't drag up the substations. Well, how about substation or 5? Cool. All right. Want to put some artillery out there. Can I also put some artillery here? And do I have artillery here? Yep, it changed color. Cool. We definitely have artillery here. And I have no idea what the range is going to be on that artillery until it arrives. Can I put one... Actually, can I put one here? Brilliant. Can I also put one here? Cool. That should... Yeah, you're built. Okay. What's my range? A lot. Excellent. All right. So with a lot of range, the only other thing I need to do is I need to start rapidly making some artillery shells. So can I come to here? Can I go with shell? Not legendary, just any old shell. And any old shell. Can I do... Oh. Okay. Helps if I... Yep, delete, please. Copy, duplicate. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I do... Alright, you can go there, and you can go here. And, oh, there's a substation right there I can just upgrade. Okay, and also can I put quality modules in them? Because, you know, if I get some quality artillery shells, I'm not going to argue. Okay, so you need to have explosives. We have lots of those. You need to have Carl site. We have lots of those. We need tungsten plate. We have lots of those. In radars, I hopefully have a whole lot of those. Okay, can I copy that one to there? And can I do that? Yeah, it seems reasonable. Power? No, no power. There you go. Have some power. Right, so that should solve that problem. Meanwhile, you're still mostly limited by eggs. Yeah, but we're making 10 eggs per minute, so I should be able to crank one of these out every minute, which should be more labs. Okay, with more labs coming in, can I copy that? Can I put this here? Now, really, I should re-cable all of this, so it sort of comes in from the bottom, but that sounds like a nightmare. Can I flip the whole lot? Horizontally flip? Vertically flip. Okay, that means blue comes in at the bottom. Yeah, I think I can actually. Can I do that? Can I remove the row ports and that bit of belt and probably that substation? Create blueprint. And can I dump this probably as far forward as possible? A little bit further travel distance for the bots. but hopefully that means I can put more roboports behind them, so I have more charge. Okay, so you would be red science, which hopefully you're red science, right? You are red science. Okay, second thoughts. Can I set that in one? Yeah. I can still put a roboport there. I can put some roboports there. I can put some roboports there. Okay. So red science goes in there. That way, hopefully, the next belt, being this belt, is purple. It is definitely purple. Excellent. And I put purple here. Then after that, I have blue science, which is this belt. Correct. You can go there. After blue science, we have our two darker sciences, the promethium and the cryogen, which is this belt. Correct. Then we have our purple and our space science, and then we have that one, the moldy science. Okay, so that should get that booted up. For the moment, it's going to have a few problems with, like, you know, feeding in and stuff, but, you know, I'm sure we'll get there after I probably swipe. I want to leave what was the top one. Okay, so can I do that as well? And I thought we had a bunch of those on standby. Oh, we only had 40 on standby. Okay, I need to maybe increase the numbers a little bit. But you guys still spoil. No, biolabs don't spoil. Okay, can I change this to 80? And 80. Cool. Just for future expansion. All right, so I want to do that. I also wanted to, on gleba, point out that I should have put this together ages ago, but I just didn't think about it. I wanted to start making tool belt. Main reason we make tool belt is it's red circuits. Red circuits are dead easy to make, and in fact, we're making red circuits here on gleba. And well, I want to make tool belt because also make use carbon. So this gives me a chance to upcycle carbon rather than just bulk recycling it. Also gives me some tool belts, which I probably want in the not too distant future. Same applies to well, superconductors. Superconductors being our blue sticks. Blue sticks, you can't, well, blue sticks recycle back into themselves, and your best way to upcycle things is to craft them into something else. So I haven't been too worried about them. Like, you know, you can upcycle them by making them as supercapacitors and then recycle them, get higher quality superconductors. But actually the cheapest way to do it is the Tesla gun, because that's plastic holmium plate, which does give you some holmium plate. This also does holmium plate. But also, well, the superconductors themselves, you use 10 at a time, whereas this only uses 2. And if you use 2 and then recycle it, you have a 0 to 1 chance to get it back. I don't like a 0 chance. You know, it's always going to be 25%, but if you do a Tesla gun, you're guaranteed to get 2 to 3 back. So I threw this together. It is slowly making these guys. It's also technically, accidentally, sometimes making me legendary railguns, which frankly I don't care about. I haven't gone and visited a friend that attacks back in a long time, and I'm not going to. So this is just crunching what we have. It also has a couple of external builds. Just take any extra stuff that's built up in the network, like holmium plate and plastic, and, well, just processing them into the build as well to get rid of them. So that's that one happening. And yeah, like I said, Gleba's just doing this little one, which has a couple of machines just fed by bots. And we're making 0.25 per second. You recycle 1.6. So technically I could put in another couple of these, actually. Do I want to? Yeah, I sort of want to. Can I put you here and here? Yeah, that can just go underneath. All right, that's the other thing I want to do. The other thing I want to mention is Gleba Science is actually, well, we're producing too much again. Even with the 2 ships going back and forth, no, we're at 100%. Wow, that capped for a while. What did we run out of? Probably blue science. Okay, blue science. Can we do something about blue science? Blue science is easy as going to Vulcanus and saying, I want Nava science. I want blue science. I want to dump you. Okay, I gotta be able to see a pipe. Can I put this pipe here? And Vulcanus, Navas, blue. It still doesn't really help that much. I think it's that pipe right at the top of the screen. Yeah, that's the iron pipe, that's the copper pipe. Okay, can I put this here? Alright, and that's sulfur, and we also have a plastic belt coming in here. Okay, I need to go find sulfur and plastic, which is all the way over here. You are producing 280 per second, if I let you output 280 per second. What's the best way to get 280 out of you per second? Okay, 4 tiles. That's unfortunate. Yeah, you're gonna be just about useless when I'm done, I think. If I get 1 tile there, and 1 tile, it won't be that tile. Which tile would it be? Okay, can I have water go from there to there? Can I do that? Can I remove that? Can I have you move over a tile? Can I have a underground here? Remove this. Can I have a underground here, and then over to here. Yeah, the spaghetti's gonna be strong with this one. And then I should be able to do that. Have my second line of sulfur come out. They should run on the same belts because that's perfectly fine, isn't it? It is perfectly fine. Cool. And then I need another belt of plastic. You produce way too many problems. One more problem. Okay, one more problem brings you up to max prod. That's more speed. Can you be legendary? Can you be legendary? Can you be more speed? And can you be more speed? I already came in here and I doubled up the the oil to start with, and also the cracking and the more cracking, and also doubled up the water. So hopefully all that covers through. You're doing 500 plastic each. Cool. Can I get 2 inserters off here and 2 inserters off here? I have this go to here and this go to here, and you're gonna output on the bottom side. You're also gonna output on the bottom side. So no, left, down. That should be. Hang on. I need 4 inserters. So can I do that? Yeah. Okay. So you can output here. That's going to give me a whole belt on the bottom side. Yeah. And then this should give me the top side of the belt as well. Okay, cool. And then I just need to take this to wherever the hell I need to take it, which is to the far left. Can I run this through to here? No, can I run that down a tile lower? Yep. And then we just go left. Okay. Almost. But like I said, I'm pretty sure in the final blueprint that I uploaded to patrons. So, well, I uploaded for patrons. If you want to grab a copy of, bang, just another 360 blue sites per second, just one blueprint. Pretty sure all of those I intentionally made sure that these back pieces all lined up with one another, just for situations like this in the future. You're short on... Yeah, it's fine. All that stuff will get dropped off eventually. Gleba's short on 3 rockets. Why is Gleba short on 3 rockets? Let me guess. A friend said hi? Yeah, a meme friend said hi. Can you just be a normal rocket? Yeah, be a normal rocket. Or you could be a legendary rocket. Both would be acceptable. Okay, so this is plastic. This is army of spiders. Can you guys move, please? And so it's sulfur, and I have plastic, which is this one. Okay, plastic is over here. We'll bring you down to there, and then into here. Okay, so it's the plastic done. None of that railroad range is caused by spiders, is it? No, cool. Alright, and then I also need sulfur. Sulfur is not outputting. Oh, can I do normal stack instead of that? And this same applies here. Yeah. And then once they're built, I'll upgrade them. I'm guessing... where are you? You're at Gleba right now picking up things like stack inserters. Yeah, you got 200 on board. Waiting in orbit, leaving. Cool. Can you stop that Vulcanist, please? Because you'll have all the things that we're missing. Right. Can I now do that? And also, we make those in legendary now, so we might as well upgrade that. And can I do that as well? Alright, so with those 2 things done, sulfur was where? Here. We're going to throw a quick splitter on that, and then we're going to take this for another ride. Sure. We're going to go up to here. Yeah. And cross, so stay in robot range. Okay, upper tail. I regret everything. Cool. And bring that through to sulfur when in here. Lefty, righty, lefty, righty. Okay, we have plenty of molten copper. We have plenty of molten iron. So it doesn't look to be an issue. I haven't actually checked the numbers. Can I just do that, please? And done. Okay, so that'll solve that problem. That'll bring the 2 resources in here. We're waiting on the EM plants to show up. Also, some inserters from the looks of it. Oh, logistics space. What? Why? Oh. Huh? You're unpowered. Oh. I have a big power plant, but it's not actually plugged into anything. I never checked. I just assumed. Cool. Well, that's a minor sidetrack. Can I... Oh, actually, I'm standing on this planet. This is making it much better. Can I also turn on my crappy legs? Hi, autosave. Can I just do that, and that, and that, and that? And 350 things being damaged. Are they on Narvis? Yeah, they're on Narvis. Wonder why. We put down artillery and then the wall, and then right after putting down artillery, the power failed. Yeah, that'd do it. Okay, well, power's back. I'm pretty sure most of this get rebuilt pretty much instantly. Can I put you there, and you there? And here, we just have a couple of legendary substations just so we have backup power on the back. That looks like it, well, it's fixed already, never mind. And, oh look, this one's fixed too. Yeah, problem solved. Alright, so, as I was saying, we needed to, hook the power into the grid. Good to make sure that that would happen beforehand. And also have crappy legs, which I'm not happy about. Can I put one of these here? Yeah. So I think whilst I'm here, I might just start crafting right beside me. Can I have legs? Leisure, please. Cool. Should have done this one long ago as well. All right, so I want to do that. I wanted to make sure Vulcanus actually got built. Really? Or EM plants? Do you not have EM plants on board? You do. That's what I thought. Okay, so you just didn't throw them out when you happen to be there. That's just annoying, for the record. Alright, with that done, can I go back to Vulcanus? Can I copy that? And we're just gonna plug that on the end, something like that. And that should give me just a rocket or 3. Can I get a spider army to come help and scout the area? And okay, turn on that for a second. You. Can I do that? Yep. And can I do that? And that giant chunk of crap there. Cool. Alright, can I also get foundations? Maybe not quite that much. Just like 2 tiles width. That's all I need. Just to make sure all my undergrounds work. And we're just going to drag that down the middle. Alright, so this will put in more rockets, more silos, more those sorts of things, and give us more launch capabilities for more blue science, which is the current thing we're short on. That and the EM plants, because you made it. No, not you. You're on your way back now. Can I forcefully throw 4? Can I forcefully throw EM plants? Plants. Can I just throw a stack of 20 off? Any time now. There we go. Okay. And then you can go on to Aquila, I guess, rather than taking you all over the place. Alright. So, legs. Can I open my armor? One of them. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm going to have some legendary legs when a bot decides to drop them off. We're going to have more science there. We're going to have more labs being made. I also need a faster ship. As I said, at the end of here, it does a very, very good job, but I definitely need something bigger. So can I have... okay, we're just going to call you new ship. Oop, not what I wanted. Thank you. Oh, okay. New ship. Yeah. And can I go, yeah, around Navas, and I want you to be legendary. Okie dokie. Great. All right, so we just need to have the ship in orbit, and then we can, start setting it up, because we know what we want. We know that this design is good. This design is good for making a whole lot of iron plates to make, rockets. We know this is good for making steel. We know this is very good for making explosives. We've already invented the wheel in many ways, shapes, or form. Like, this does fuel, This rerolls asteroids. All the basic building blocks are there, This is how we crash asteroids. It's all pretty much been things that we've gone through this playthrough, and we've worked out previously. So designing a new ship should be absolutely dead easy at this point. There's not that many things that we need to reinvent. This is a great way to make ammo. Sure, it does use an awful lot of iron per second once it's legendary, so it's maybe a little bit of overkill, but that's besides the point. Okay, so can I get this? Can I get... that much, please. Can I also get storage? This one. Can I get that? Can I get that? Can I get that? Okay, can I turn that off probably and just do that for a minute? Cool. All right, so some bare basics. First off, I want some space to build. Cool. Next thing I need to cover is we need to have a few basic things. So if we go back to... pin you, please. Yep, if we go back to the enders here. I like this. I like having these guys very, very close to me. I want to directly feed in. That's going to be very, very important to me. So I want to be able to have, preferably, if all goes well, I'd like to have 4 of these guys. Being able to shove, biter eggs in and science in as fast as possible. Now, when it comes to Prometheum ships, there are 2 design principles you can work on. One is I take eggs out to the edge, and then when I get to the edge, I process, I go out to the shadow planet with my eggs alive, and then I process them there. That does work. It can be done. Your other option is, the same as I did with the enders here, is to buffer a whole lot of rocks, and then when you get back, bring your eggs up nice and alive and process them on site there. So I would like to do another design like that. Definitely like that. I don't really want to have the hassle of trying to fly live eggs out there. So first off, I want to have these guys nice and close. Next thing we're going to want is I'm going to want power. So if we open the ship modules, I want 900 megawatts. Sounds like heaps. And we're just going to put you out here for just 1 second. But I'm also going to do one quick thing, and that is I'm going to upgrade that to legendary. I'm going to upgrade that to legendary. And you're already marked for legendary. So, boom. Oh. Yeah, you're marked for legendary. Yeah, I'm going to have legendary ones because we've been saving for a little while. And I think I'm done. 9 extra sets of legs. You're going to stop at 20. That's fine. I set up a long time ago. Where are we? Was it this chest? No? Are they already being launched up? They could already be launched up. They're not requesting. That's maybe a better question. Can I double check? Oh no, they're in here. Yep. I set up long ago on Aquilo. We've done nothing with them. Turn that off, please. It's so annoying. I set up upcycling. We set up upcycling on Aquilo, and we have legendary fusion generators. We have legendary fusion reactors, which also means that if I pop them on the new ship, rather than producing the 900 megawatts this is rated for, it's going to do 2.5 times that, which is probably enough power to keep us perfectly safe. All right. Other modules that we're going to need. We're obviously going to need some sort of tileable walls. That's probably too much. We want railguns. That's probably too much because everything's going to end up being legendary. 10 explosives per second. That's up. 19 explosives per second in cryoplants. We want something like this to make explosives. Also, if we go back to... Actually, the Enders here has probably got the most updated blueprints. I want something like this. I want something like this to make explosives. And you're doing 400 per second. Yeah, you do need to have 100 and 100. And, well, to make 100 coal, this makes 178. So... I want something similar to, well, actually it's probably better to copy them individually so it's less of a mess. Can I copy that? I just realized that belt's dead. Cool. No, forward, no. Can I go to new ship? So I want something like that to make explosives. Back to the Enders here, I want to have something like that to make sulfur. I really wish back and forward would work properly. Okay, can I paste that there? So, I want something like that. Also, I found having a dedicated making ice in one location also works really well. I have no idea why calcite... Oh, you picked up an extra belt at some stage. Can you go and delete that, and just undo? Yeah, it's meant to have ice on one side and calcite on the other, because we just pump it all through and yeah, calcite just sits there. Yep. So I also want one of those. Can I go back to new ship? I want something like that just does, well, ice generation. The only other thing we need is, well, we're less of a mess. Maybe that's what caused it. Yeah, that's a nightmare. I covered a bit of this belt. Okay. Okay. So I want something like this. I also need something like this to make fuel, you know. Pretty much that whole design, that's exactly what we want. We go back to the new ship, and we're going to pop this down here. We also know from our fast ships that the more thrust we can apply across the back, the better. So I also want something that involves a whole lot of thrust. New ship, and they arrived. They did. Oh, can I just add in? They didn't arrive. Okay. There's still 1,000 of that on the way. Okay, that explains everything. If we have 6, 10 of those. Alright. So I want modules like this. You know, some sort of modules like this that just, you know, do the things that we expect them to. Again, the end is here. We want something like this for rockets. Yeah. You know, nothing too fancy, just mass makes rockets. Same with railguns. I want something like this, just makes railguns. And the only thing I'd really like to improve would be the stepping. The stepping for storage of, well, asteroids, I'd really like to improve that. Because this was okay, but it wasn't anything great. So, I have put together, a long time ago, belt storage. I have, you know, a different collection of blueprints for, you know, different types of belt storage. But this was actually my favorite one. It was customizable, and it's something you can put together any way you wanted to have, well, a tileable storage. So if I find a bit of blank space, let me put this here, that being the top piece, and then we go back into here and into here. Okay, just hold that in my hand, and we put down this one, which is the middle one. This is tileable, so I can just drag this as long as I want, and then all I need to do is put the bottom one on. So what I want to do is I want to start ship design backward, and I want to build the front of the ship. And the front of the ship you can only build so far from, well, the hub. So our plan is to go as far forward as possible, with preferably just 2 tiles width. Yep, because they're going to be limited by how fast we get crap launched up. In fact, it might even be 1 tile width. Because I just need, I need a spike out there. I need a spike out there so I can reach out there so I can do things out there. I also need to know where the front is. It's about 1,000 tiles from memory. No, I have a lot of hull on board. Okay, can I get this? Actually, no, I think it's about 500 tiles. You can only build 500 tiles from the front of the ship to make you, stop you making a large spike of sacrificial walls, you know, anything that has high hit points to just fly towards the shattered, well, towards the edge of the system and just ram your way through things. So, yeah, I need a spike to design the front. After we've designed the front, we can put in our modules wherever we need them. We need to put in storage, obviously, to hold, you know, anything we want to hold. And A lot of belt storage. Yeah, a lot of belt storage. So, this is something we're going to be putting together in the next episode, hopefully. I want to put together a final ship to do our final victory lap or our final science run out towards the Shadow Planet. And did this boot up? Nope. Because what did I do? Lava. Okay, can we just... Done? I think I'm going to update my blueprints that just have foundation pre-blueprinted underneath them. The amount of times this has screwed me is just amazing. Okay, can I also do this whole section? Yeah, all the way up and down. Just have it done. It's at the point where it's just annoying. And foundation's only going to go down tiles where there's lava anyway. And it's just because lava has that different effect where you can't run underground through it. Anyway, like I said, I need to leave this episode here. New blue science is up and running, which should keep things running. Turns out, I bet we're out of... Oh no, we're out of Promethium. Okay, if we're out of Promethium, can I get that one done? Because I also want to have that one done as well, which is the last explosives we need to be able to one-shot asteroids with normal rockets. Yep. Anyway, with all that said and done, I'm going to call it here. You are still crafting. We have 18 of those left, so we can make a few more. That's great. And that should hopefully top up our lab count. Yeah, it looks like it will. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to call it here. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the next episode for, well, a ship build. A very large ship build. Yeah, the Enders here is nice, but I feel like I want something like 10 times the size. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.